All I know is if Marissa told me it was my aunt, I would need therapy pretty badly because she is hot. I mean, fucking hot. Like, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Talking Tommyrot. Guess what finally dropped? The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. That's right, we've been graced with more Tom Holland's goodness in those tights. I promise I'm not gay. No, but we are finally blessed with a new trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home, the first movie to take place after the monumental event that is Avengers Endgame. So we finally got our first look. Let's break down that trailer and possibly give some theories for what's going to happen in this movie and the MCU pretty much from here on to the future. Now, the trailer opens with Spider-Man being praised by Aunt May, which is super weird. We do see at the end of Homecoming that she knows that he's Spider-Man, so she seems to be okay with it now. Which is really weird though, because she seems to be like really okay, like nothing happened to him, like maybe he didn't get snapped on a different planet and turn into dust. I don't know. But it also looks like this event is taking place at Feast, F-E-A-S-T. It's an acronym for a homeless shelter that May helps run in the comics. Also, if you played the Spider-Man PS4 game, a lot of the action takes place at Feast, so I think that they're going to introduce Feast and have May be a bigger part of this movie. We also see May and Happy Hogan getting a little familiar, getting a little fresh. I don't know if this will really necessarily indicate that there's like a timeline shift, but I definitely do think that this relationship is going to be explored. Definitely we're going to see Happy Hogan finally get some puss. But does that mean that Tony is no longer around? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. So then we see in the trailer that Peter is basically planning a Europe trip with his school, and we get a shot of him swinging around the city before the actual trip takes place. And in a shot behind him, directly behind him while he's swinging, we do see the reconstruction of what was the Avengers Tower. Now, if you remember at the end of Homecoming, Avengers Tower was actually being sold and Happy was moving all the stuff out of Avengers Tower. So with the construction going on in this trailer, I think that's indicating that somebody has bought the building and is basically redoing the building or reconstructing it. My number one guess, or I guess my most wanted guess, if you will, is that building is actually going to be made into the Baxter building, and it's going to house none other than the Fantastic Four. And it was actually purchased by Reed Richards, who is of course Mr. Fantastic, the leader of the Fantastic Four. What better way to introduce the coolest team? Just kidding, not the coolest team, but one of the coolest teams in Marvel history. I think it's either that or Avengers Tower has been bought out by none other than Norman Osborn. And maybe Oscorp will start to make appearances in the movies. We also see that Peter and MJ, or Michelle, MJ, whatever you want to call her, are developing a relationship. So not 100% sure how far after Homecoming this one will take place. I'm assuming at least a year or two, so their relationship has probably blossomed quite a bit. But Peter wasn't trying to do all that Spider-Man shit in Europe. You know, maybe he's tired, or maybe he's just wanting to leave that behind so he can focus on school and his relationship with his friends and girlfriend. But I don't fucking know, dude. I'd want to be Spider-Man all the time. I'd bring my suit everywhere. You feel me? I'd bring my suit everywhere. This is then when the trailer is rudely interrupted by Sam Jackson shooting Ned Leeds in the fucking neck. Yeah, this indicates that Nick Fury is back too. So if you watch Avengers Infinity War, you saw him get snapped at the end as well, and Spider-Man got snapped too. They're both back in this movie. What is that indicating? I have no idea. Maybe that the snap never happened? I hope. But yeah, basically Nick Fury is recruiting Spider-Man in London to deal with these elemental creatures that we get a little glimpse of in the trailer. One seems to be made of rock or earth. We have a fire one, we have one in the air, and we have one that's kind of like Hydro Man or something made of water. So basically these guys are going to be the new threat in the movie, and I think Nick Fury is having a lot of trouble actually containing them. Why he reaches out to Spider-Man and none of the other Avengers will remain to be seen. Maybe they're not around. Maybe they're not around. There's actually a point in the trailer where Happy specifically says, "We're all alone." Does that mean that Tony is not fucking there? God damn it. Is Tony not there? I don't think Tony's in this movie. I don't think Tony's alive. I'm just gonna say that right now. I think Tony's gonna die in Endgame. And I think we're gonna really feel that in Spider-Man. I think we're gonna really feel that. Anyways, these elemental creatures severely outmatch Peter Parker at first, and that's when we get our introduction to none other than Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio. Played by Bubble Boy himself, Jake Gyllenhaal. I think it looks fantastic. His suit is flaming, dude. That shit looks fire. They got the glass head bowl right and everything. It looks amazing. I think his powers are gonna be really cool looking in the movie. From the trailer, it looks like the CGI is fucking tops. So I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with Mysterio in a huge budget movie like this. Now, people who aren't familiar with Mysterio, like I said, his name is Quentin Beck in the comics. He is a master of illusion and special effects. He also uses a lot of hypnotism. He has a fog that's very similar to this fear toxin that Scarecrow has in Batman. It can make you see things that aren't really there. So basically he just puffs around magic mushrooms all day, and that's his superpower. Now, with that being said, that he is the master of illusion and special effects, I truly believe that Quentin Beck is creating these elemental creatures for his own purposes. So I think he is putting on a show, basically beating these elemental creatures, showing the world that he is a hero. In the comic books, Quentin Beck kind of has a little confidence problem, so he'll do anything in his power to make himself seem better than he really is. Jake Gyllenhaal has been interviewed saying that him and Peter Parker, so Mysterio and Spider-Man, team up in this movie, and he's not a bad guy. Now, that's what he said. I think he's going to end up being a bad guy by the end of the movie, but we're going to get to see Mysterio in action, and I think it's going to look great. Like I said, all of the suits are fucking fire. We also do see that Peter is going to get 3 different suits in this movie. It opens up with his regular suit from Spider-Man Homecoming and Civil War. Then we get a few shots of him in a darker suit with a much darker blue and really cool web wings. And then finally he gets a stealth suit, and I think that's going to be given to him by Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D., but he does get that when he's actually in Europe. So he's going to get 3 different suits, at least 3 different suits that we've seen in the trailer so far. So I really think that this Spider-Man Far From Home, I do believe that it's going to be the first movie that takes place after Endgame. I've read rumors that the movie even opens with Tony Stark's funeral, so that's going to be really hard to see if that's the truth. With all of the evidence in the trailer, with Nick Fury being back, Maria Hill, Spider-Man, and with Aunt May not being so distraught like Spider-Man wasn't gone for a period of time, I think this is indicating that the Avengers in Endgame will go back in time or do some type of time traveling to make sure that the snap of Mr. Thanos doesn't happen altogether, and we may lose some Avengers in that battle. But I think if there's any indications that the Avengers are going to win, it's this trailer, basically showing that Spider-Man is alive and well, and the last time we saw him, he was literally turning to dust on another planet. I know Marvel likes to keep things nice and secret, but with this movie coming out, maybe we have put together a little bit of what's going to happen in the next Avengers movie. I'm still going to sit my ass in that seat and watch and cry and beg for mercy as they fucking kill off all my favorite characters. But nonetheless, I am super excited for another Spider-Man movie coming out. Homecoming was amazing. Tom Holland's probably my favorite Spider-Man on screen, so I'm really excited to see this movie. Looking forward to it though. What do you guys think? What's going to happen in Far From Home? Do you think Mysterio is going to turn out to be a bad guy? Do you think any of the Avengers are going to make a return in this movie? Do you think Mr. Tony Stark met his demise in Endgame? Let me know what you think, guys. Hit me up in the comments. Check me out on Instagram. You can check me out at GarzaNate or search the hashtag TalkingTommyrot. Full steam ahead for this next year. We're going to be diving in more into Marvel theories and Marvel movies as their release slate is kind of coming up in the next few months. Gonna have a lot more guests on the podcast, as we've had my first guest episode has already aired, so we're going to be moving forward full steam. I appreciate you guys coming down, always showing love on my videos, and I will show the love in return. I love you guys so much. Let me know what you think about Spider-Man. Let me know what you think of the next Marvel movies that come out. I will be posting a lot more, so catch you there, or I'll catch you some other time. I love you guys. Bye.